Something happened live on morning television that left an entire studio audience frozen in disbelief. The cameras were rolling. Millions of people were watching at home. And in a matter of seconds, without any warning whatsoever, one of America's most beloved TV hosts went down. Not figuratively, literally. And the man sitting right next to her? He watched it happen in real time. This is the story of a moment that stopped the morning television world, and why fans everywhere are still talking about it. Welcome back. If you're new here, this channel is your go-to destination for the latest entertainment news, celebrity updates, and the pop culture stories everyone is buzzing about. And today, we are diving into one of the most talked about moments in recent talk show history. We're talking about Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos, the real-life Hollywood couple who somehow managed to make waking up early feel entertaining, chaotic, and completely worth it. If you've been following Live with Kelly and Mark, you already know that anything can happen on that set. The chemistry between these two is electric. The banter is unscripted and unpredictable, and on any given morning, you truly never know what you're going to get. But even for a show known for its surprise moments, what happened on June 16th, 2025, caught absolutely everyone off guard. So grab your coffee, get comfortable, because we are breaking down every detail of the moment that sent fans spiraling and the full, fascinating story behind it. To truly appreciate why this moment hit so differently, you need to understand who Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos really are, not just as TV personalities, but as a couple whose love story is genuinely one for the Hollywood history books. It all started back in 1995. Kelly Ripa was already a rising star on the beloved soap opera All My Children, playing the fan-favorite character Haley Vaughn. That same year, a young, dark-haired actor named Mark Consuelos joined the cast as her on-screen love interest, Mateo Santos. Now, if you've ever wondered whether on-screen chemistry can become the real thing, Kelly and Mark are your answer. What started as a professional relationship quickly blossomed into something far more genuine. The two began dating in secret, quietly falling for each other away from the cameras. And then, in what is honestly one of the most romantic and slightly reckless decisions in celebrity history, they eloped to Las Vegas in 1996. They kept it quiet. But as anyone who's been in the public eye knows, secrets don't always stay secret. Their marriage was eventually revealed when radio personality Wendy Williams broke the news after citing a Las Vegas courthouse source. And from that moment forward, America fell in love with them, as a couple, as co-stars, and eventually as co-hosts. Kelly spent decades anchoring the live franchise alongside different co-hosts, most notably Ryan Seacrest, who joined her in 2017 and stayed through 2023. But when Ryan stepped away, the producers made a move that fans had been quietly dreaming about for years. They brought in Mark. In April 2023, Mark Consuelos officially joined Kelly Ripa at the Live with Kelly and Mark desk. And the rest, as they say, is daytime television history. Together, the two parents of 3 adult children, Michael, Lola, and Joaquin, have transformed morning television into something that feels less like a talk show and more like having breakfast with a couple you genuinely adore. But here's the thing about real couples hosting live television together. Sometimes the real magic happens when absolutely nobody is expecting it. Which brings us to June 16th, 2025. The show was in full swing. The studio audience was settled in. Mark was in his seat. And Kelly, sharp, quick-witted, and in full hosting mode, was doing what she does best, keeping the energy alive. The segment featured tech journalist Lance Ulanoff and a fascinating on-air demonstration involving Google Gemini, the AI program that's been making waves across the tech world. Here's where it starts to get interesting. Ulanoff, feeling a little nervous sitting across from the hosts, turned to the AI program for advice. He asked Gemini live, on air, what he should do to calm down while speaking to Kelly and Mark. Gemini responded with its characteristically smooth AI wisdom, telling him to breathe, focus on the conversation, and not worry about the people around him. Sweet advice, pretty standard. But Kelly, never one to let a moment pass without a little fire, jumped in with her signature wit. She quipped to Gemini, "Can you teach my friend Lance how to meet actual people?" Now the audience was already laughing. Mark was grinning. It was classic live energy. And then Yulanov, probably feeling a little emboldened by the moment, told the AI program something that no one saw coming. He said to Gemini, "I sometimes feel like the hosts are losing interest in what I say." The room shifted, and Kelly Ripa? She didn't say a word. She simply slid out of her chair and collapsed dramatically to the floor, flat on her back, right there on the live set, in front of a stunned studio audience. The room erupted. Gasps, laughter, disbelief, all of it happening at once. Mark looked over. The cameras caught every second of it. And lying there on the floor, Kelly Ripa looked up and delivered one of the most quotable lines in recent talk show history. "Are you happy, Gemini? You've killed one of the hosts." Gemini, with the kind of deadpan that only an AI could deliver, replied that the situation was definitely alarming. The program even instructed Yulanov to check whether the host was unresponsive and, if so, to call for help immediately. Of course, Kelly was completely fine. She was performing. She was being Kelly. She sat back up, smoothed herself out, and the show continued, as if a television host had not just fake collapsed in protest of being called boring by a guest speaking to an artificial intelligence. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is exactly why millions of people set their alarms every morning. Fans immediately started reacting, and the response was everything. Clips of Kelly's dramatic collapse spread across social media within hours. On X, formerly Twitter, fans couldn't stop quoting her Gemini line. On TikTok, the video racked up millions of views as users stitched it with their own reactions, most of them some variation of Kelly Ripa is absolutely unhinged, and I love her for it. Entertainment news outlets picked up the story almost immediately. Entertainment Weekly covered it in detail. Parade featured it. Yahoo Entertainment spotlighted the moment as one of the most memorable live TV reactions of the year. But what fans seemed to love most wasn't just the collapse itself. It was the specificity of the protest. Kelly didn't storm off. She didn't snap. She performed an entirely dramatic, theatrical exit from consciousness in response to an AI. On live television, with her husband watching. If that's not appointment viewing, nothing is. Mark, for his part, handled it exactly as you'd expect from someone who's been married to Kelly Ripa for nearly 3 decades, with the calm, barely concealed amusement of a man who has seen it all and is somehow still surprised every single morning. But that wasn't the end of the story. Because here's what's really beautiful about this moment. Underneath all the comedy and the chaos, it reflects something genuinely rare in Hollywood. This is a couple that has been together for nearly 30 years. They met at work. They fell in love at work. They eloped in secret. They raised 3 kids together. They built separate careers. And now, at a point in life when most couples are thinking about slowing down, they show up every single morning, sit next to each other under studio lights, and let America in. That's not a TV show. That's a relationship with cameras. And the moments that make Live with Kelly and Mark so magnetic aren't the scripted segments or the celebrity guests or the big production numbers. It's the moments between Kelly and Mark that feel completely, unmistakably real. Like when Mark got emotional watching a birthday video of their dog Lena, actually tearing up on air, while Kelly erupted into affectionate laughter beside him. Or when Kelly announced to their audience that Mark was heading to Broadway, touching his arm, beaming with pride, announcing his next chapter to the world before he could even get a word in. Or when, in a moment of pure comedic chaos, Mark asked a viewer a question so unexpected during a live game segment that Kelly looked at him in genuine disbelief and asked, "What kind of a monster are you?" These are the moments that celebrity news is made of. Not the manufactured kind, the real kind. And the impact of moments like these extends far beyond the morning show bubble. Live with Kelly and Mark has consistently remained one of the most watched daytime programs in America. Since Mark joined in April 2023, the show has found a new energy, one that leans harder into the reality of being a married couple navigating work, life, family, and fame simultaneously. In a media landscape that often feels calculated and curated, Kelly and Mark offer something refreshingly different: unfiltered, unscripted, and unapologetically themselves. Whether it's Kelly collapsing on the floor in theatrical protest of an AI's commentary, or Mark heading to Broadway to star in a Noel Coward play opposite Rose Byrne and Kelly O'Hara, this couple never stays still. They evolve, they grow, and they bring their audience along for every step of it. That's the real reason people keep watching. That's why clips go viral. That's why this moment, Kelly Ripa flat on the floor of her own set while an AI expressed concern, became a pop culture highlight reel moment almost instantly. Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos are, in many ways, a reflection of what modern entertainment looks like at its best. They're not trying to be perfect. They're not projecting an image. They show up genuinely, imperfectly, hilariously, every single morning, and they invite America to be part of whatever happens next. And on June 16th, 2025, what happened next was Kelly Ripa sliding off her chair, lying flat on a studio floor, and blaming an AI for her dramatic downfall. In the grand tradition of live television, from the golden age of variety shows to the modern era of real-time, shareable moments, it was exactly the kind of moment that reminds us why we still watch. Because you simply cannot script that. And the best part? Mark Consuelos was sitting right there, front row, as always, ready for whatever comes next. Now I want to hear from you. What is your all-time favorite Kelly Ripa or Mark Consuelos moment on live? Have you been watching since the beginning? Or did a moment like this one pull you in? Drop it in the comments below. I read every single one. If you enjoyed this celebrity update, subscribe for more entertainment news and Hollywood stories. Hit that notification bell so you never miss a moment, because in the world of Kelly and Mark, something unexpected is always right around the corner. We'll see you in the next one.